Welcome to my channel, Inspired Ideas, Flor de Olivo Accents, Olive's Kitchen. Because I know that we haven't been creating any new recipes and or sharing all the recipes that I've been making. But I just want to share a little bit of my story as a little bit as to why I've been on pause for a while. And I think it's just a series of events on top of consistency, mental clarity, on top of moments of insecurities and inconsistencies. So it's so crazy how sometimes at the beginning of the year, I was really focused and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And I had one of the biggest traumatic scares of my life. Now, creations and content and things that I do, like my jewelry, my food, all the things that I was doing, basically were put on pause because somehow it was going to be affecting my major job, like the job that pays all the bills, the job that I go to, that for a very long time I was super in love with, and it's something that I was been super proud, and I think I felt super defined by it. So that's why I was having a really hard time. And I just really want to say thank you to the people who supported me, took time to understand me, and weren't offended by some of the actions that I took in the process of this whole hibernation unit. And it wasn't just on YouTube, but it's also been in my regular life as to what it was. So let me just kind of get into the briefings of it. And yet at the same time, some of the briefings, but at the same time, this is the crazy part. I remember I was being called into the office, and I just remember telling my boss, I feel and I guess I was kind of sharing with that person something in regards to employment and or how people are kind of feeling about that person, feeling about the situation. And I was just I think that somehow there's going to be an example and you're going to have to, actually put your foot forward. It's going to be hard. And I was like, even if it has to be with me or something like that. And that was the baffling part, because when I went through that, I forgot that had happened. But this is exactly what happened. So I just remember being called into the office saying hey, you need to schedule a meeting. And I was like, a meeting? And I was like, for what? Can you tell me roughly what it's about? I can't talk about that. What do you mean you can't talk about that? You can't tell me about me? What you gonna say about me? No? Okay. So basically, that person only said, you need to get a shop steward. Shop steward? I'm part of a union. That's crazy business. What do you mean? I've never really been in trouble like this, and it just felt like I was in super trouble. And it was ridiculous trouble. And I was like, wait, what? Off of what? How did this even happen? Mind you, I help as many people as I can possibly help in this business. If I know something, I would help. But as I got a little bit, I want to say older, or after this, I just didn't want to help nobody. It's why should I help anybody for what? But anyways, we're veering off the conversation. So, need to get a shop steward. I'm like, a shop steward? What are you talking about? For what? And my meeting is called, what was it called? It was called something gathering information. Gathering, just one second, let me think about it. So that I don't go through a rabbit hole, we're just going to call it data collecting information meeting about me. What do you mean? You're going to collect information about me? What are you talking about? And so I'm just I'm shitting bricks. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. What are they talking about? I start asking people, what do you think this is about? Have you ever had a meeting like this? Has this been anything or specifics or something like that? And next thing you know, I ask some other people and they don't say nothing. So I'm just dang. So we're waiting for the meeting. I have to go look for a shop steward. Gotta look for a shop steward. And I'm like, wait, who am I gonna find? I happen to find somebody, and we go to the meeting, and you wanna know what was said? I was like, So mind you, I don't know anything of what they're going to talk about or what they're going to mention. So basically, I'm thrown in a loop of like all the things that I possibly have done in one meeting, when normally it's like attendance, when normally it's like here, time, little things. I'm not even quite sure. Like, I don't know, but I thought it was going to be something to that effect. No, turns out like, oh, you were posting things on Facebook while you were working. What? Who? Who said? What are you talking about? And then word around town was like, I'm selling my tamales and people, on work time. So basically they're trying to get me for time fraud. Time fraud? What? I'm like, what do you mean? No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then so they start mentioning other stuff about like internet usage. And I've used the internet to help everybody, all their kind of like outside of work stuff. Of course, I didn't think anything of it, but I'm like, I'm helping people. They need this, they need that. Let me do this, let me do that, let me, whatever. I didn't think it was a bad thing, but it was a bad thing. So don't do that, people. If you are just doing work, you do work. If you're doing side hustle, after hours. Well, back to the meeting. And by the time we were done with the meeting, I still was in shock. I still didn't even comprehend which direction I was being pointed in. And so my shop steward at the time, because at the time I had like 5 different people represent me at different areas of my meetings, and was like, well, it's a good thing you have your side hustle. Like, my side hustle, what do you mean? Like, yeah, you can continue and, make money off. Girl, like, this was just my hobby. It's a hobby. This is a hobby, people. This is a hobby. This is something that I love to share. I love to create. I love to make. I love to cook. I want you to eat my food because it's delicious. And I want you to buy it because it's delicious. Not because I'm trying to make billions of bucks off of it. I'm not out. Obviously, I want to make $1, but I don't, a little more than $1. But I want to make something because I'm also doing a service. Hello. Basically, it was like I either was going to get laid off or fired or something. Because you know why? Because they put me in a category that it's called time fraud. Time fraud? What? Like, no, I'm not me. No, I've been at work. I've been working. And then I was like, what are they talking about? Like, everything is kind of getting like within the friend, Facebook, Instagram. I didn't even know which way. It was mostly friends, not public, because I didn't really do public too much. And, I was like, Lord. I asked somebody, like, did you happen to share something? And they was like, no. And I was just like, you get to a point where you're so scared out your mind, everybody's going to get tossed out the boat. Because you don't trust nobody. And it's not that you don't mean to not trust nobody. It's as you can't, you all of a sudden, all the trust went out the window when you have no clue who possibly could have done or said anything or shared anything. And that's the crazy part, because somebody took a screenshot of my thing and it just so happened to be public, and that was just a little sus. Like, anybody would think sus. Like, that's suspicious. That's crazy. Like, so this doesn't make sense. And at first I couldn't even pinpoint what day it was, because I didn't see the actual photo because it couldn't be shared with me. And then, but I was like, but why? Like, how? Like, really? Like, somebody's just digging that hard that they're like, oh, let's see. And they try to say that I was on their computer doing this, but which I've never logged into my job and used their computer for social media, because I'm like, I've never done that. Like, I might have gone on YouTube to just listen to the music, the meditation music, but not like anything else, because I was just like, Lord, this is too much. Oh my goodness. It was left and right. So the next day I called out because I'm like stressed out, worried, like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. What am I going to do? And it's just been the most scariest thing that I could ever experience in my life. And I was literally crying my eyeballs out. Like, I love this job. This job has been so, like, it's a loyalty that I feel to it because it's helped me out of so many situations that I appreciate being there. So I posted or shared something. I didn't post, but I guess I posted because I shared something on my Facebook. And it wasn't even my business. It was somebody else's business. You know how you share people's stuff? And everybody just so happened to be on that particular day on their phone. And I remember it being slow. And it's so crazy how you can have those mental note pictures in your mind on that situation and when that day happened, and see the people who were there doing the same thing you were doing. They might have just been looking at pictures and not sharing, but they was on their phones on social media like everybody else. And I didn't think it was a bad thing because everybody else is doing it. Well, this is one prime example. Was gonna be me. What? Oh my goodness, this is not fair. Like, my feelings was so hurt. I was like, I'm never sharing nobody nothing ever again. Like, and then it was just crazy. I stopped selling my food. I stopped making my videos. And so it just turned into something so like, and people got offended because I removed them from all my social medias. And I didn't just remove one person, I removed everybody. And I wasn't trying to offend anybody, but at the same time, I'm still entitled to my own feelings. And if you're going to be offended by me removing everybody because I can't see clearly now in my mind, because, we're all human and we're all imperfect, and there could be moments of distrust. And even if you don't say anything, there still could be moments where you could rebuild that trust where you're like, no, okay, it couldn't have been this person. And it's not that I'm trying to point the finger that all these people did it, because no, I don't think so. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but I guess I'll just hurt everybody's feelings because that wasn't even my intention. Like, I'm trying to just keep my mind as clear as possible because I can't think. Just imagine you're being scared out your mind and somebody saying that you're possibly going to lose your job because you shared something on social media. And the person who took the screenshot of your social media is in the group of all the people who you work with. So you can't even help but be just a little bit, just a little bit. Come on. Most people would understand, or at least I take myself in that situation where I would understand. There's been plenty of people who come and go on social media, will leave and come back, remove, not remove, request, not request. And I'm totally okay with that because at the end of the day, they might be going through something and nobody really knows the facts of what they're going on. And if we didn't fight or argue, then there's no reason. If we didn't fight or argue, then obviously I don't think that there's something wrong. But I don't automatically just point the finger and cut people off just because. And, obviously there has to be some arguments and it has to be really deep for me because there's no other way for me to do it. There's really not. I don't know how to do. I'm guilty of forgiving many people for many things, even when I don't say that my feelings were hurt. That's one of my flaws. Yes, I have an amazing friend who literally had my back 1000% and was able to find me a few shop stewards and that was able to support me in my grief because it was something that was so heavy. I couldn't even stop crying. Like, they were crying with me. Like, there's no way. Like, come on now. And I was able to get representation. I had 5 people, remember, that I went through. It was a challenging situation. It really was. And every time I thought I had someone, I didn't have anybody. And when I had someone, I appreciated all the homework that was done in helping me. God bless all of them, everybody, every little person that helped me. Thank you, God. Thank you, everything, right? Come on now. I literally cried for 3 days. 3 days. You know how hard that was? That was mental anguish at its finest. And I was just in almost the idea of you know what? Fuck it. fuck it. If this is what I'm supposed to do, if this is what I'm supposed to go through, like if I have to, because it was so heavy, I was so ingrained in the idea of where I worked and the profession that I work in, that I was like, if I lose this, then what? Who am I? I was defined by this. Like, I love my job so much. Like, I'm like, this is the best job ever. Like, as long as you got the best people, the best crew to work with, like the environment is great. I mean, don't get me wrong, for a while it was going downhill. It was emotional roller coasters at its finest, like no fun. No fun. But now fun's coming back. It's coming back in. It's great. Slowly clearing out all of the clouds that are going on, which I'm kind of glad. But anyways, back to what I'm talking about. So when I had my meeting, like they were able to show me which picture I shared. When I seen that picture, I was like, that's not even mine. Like I was sharing somebody else's stuff, like two other business owners or businesses, small businesses, because they're not, well, one's a medium-sized business and the other one is like a small business where they only make something on Saturdays. That's about it. And at the same time, I was like, Lord, are you serious? This wasn't even my stuff. Like, I'm getting in trouble for sharing stuff that wasn't even mine. And that's what made me even more upset. I was like, you know what? This is garbage. This is garbage. I'm getting in trouble for the wrong thing. And then it's time fraud. Time fraud, people. I had to sign this contract. Like, you can't do this, do that. I've been on my P's and Q's. You know who's going to be on them P's and Q's for the rest of their job life? Yeah, that's me. That's me. But at the same time, I needed to create some boundaries as to what I'm going to make, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. Like if I do want to sell my creations, this is a hobby that I love. Obviously, it could turn into something more. Why not? But this is a hobby that I love because my intentions is that people get to have beautiful pieces to wear, delicious food to eat, and enjoy. But setting boundaries, people, setting boundaries for myself. Because if I don't set these boundaries, I'm just going to be all over the place and I'm going to be disrespecting myself, disrespecting the job that I'm working at, which I'm not trying to do because I love my job. And I was given another opportunity, which was like, okay, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, the nice everything that, even the compassion that the manager gave me, because there was compassion. I think there was, and I appreciate that. And I just wish them so many blessings as well, even if they did have to call me out on something. But then it was like, remember, Olivia, you were talking to that person in the office and saying the things that probably you're going to be a prime example. And I'm just like, really? Really? I had to be like that. We were like dying inside. Oh my goodness. I died. I created a whole new person. I'm one of those people that will like fall apart and crumble and start all over again. Because you know what? We never given up. But at the same time, I appreciate all the hard stuff. So after the meeting, I had my meeting. I saw the pictures. I went back to work. I didn't really talk to nobody. It was Olivia's in her bubble. Olivia don't want to talk to nobody. Olivia doesn't want to do anything. Olivia's risk of loss of her job and providing for her family was one of the most scariest moments I could ever experience. That I was just like, isolation. Nothing but black every day, all day, baby. Black every day, all day. Repel all the ugly. Go back, leave me alone, don't look at me, don't talk to me, don't ask me nothing, because I don't know. I'm doing my job. Can I do my job? I just want to do my job. That's it. I don't want to do no extra, because I even told, because somebody had asked me in the first meeting, was like, well, Olivia, something or another, and I was like, you know what? From here on out, I will direct them to where they need to go to, because I'm just an employee. I don't have a title other than lab assistant. That's it. I had a cough, so that's why I kind of like cut out real quick. But see, going sometimes above and beyond don't help yourself. It helps other people, but then sometimes that's overlooked because it's not getting the job done. And then, but I know why I got in trouble. I know. But this is a prime example of like, hello. Look, don't look at my phone. Don't really this and that. Try to just focus on what needs to be focused on. And that's not my other side thingies. So that's why it's like, okay, it was hard for me because I was picking up ridiculous hours. Excuse me. I was picking up ridiculous hours, and it wasn't giving me time to do my hobbies and to create dishes and to cook and post and edit. Like, it wasn't like giving me time for that. And I just recently have been like mega pushing. Like, I did pick up in September because I was hosting a birthday party for my son, and I just wanted to make sure that I had most of the funds, because parties, it don't matter, like they cost, and I just wanted to have a little bit so that way he could enjoy. And then it turned out he had 2 birthday parties. But anyways, so, and then when Olivia's in the verge of like pick up hours, nonstop, I can't say no. They keep calling. I'm like, okay. Olivia, no. October is my self-care month. You're not supposed to be picking up hours. I was on vacation and still picked up an extra day, 4 days. Really? You did too much. That was too much. And so this Sunday coming up is going to be like my last pickup. Or for the rest of the year, I'm not picking up anything. I'm just working my regular days that I regularly work, and then I can focus on this other stuff that I want to focus on, because I feel like it's really important. And this is why I've been MIA in every area other than my regular job. Makes sense, right? So you feel me? This has been why the inconsistency has been inconsistent. And today is October, and the whole thing happened about, I want to say it started out in March, April. I want to say around there. And then it got finalized in like June, July. Like, I was in mid-air for who knows how long. July, August, September, October. Like, it's been, see what I mean? Like, this whole thing has just been a total of probably 6 months of just mental anguish, trying to organize my life, organize my mental, organize my whatever it is. I feel like I need to organize, even if I'm organizing nothing and I'm just sitting here doing nothing. It's like, oh my God, what is wrong? So this is why Friday and Saturday are just going to be my day when I decide to just do the thing, whatever it is I want to do. And then after hours are when I will reply to any type of comments, questions, answers, things on my Instagram, because that's where I'm going to be selling my jewelry. I do creations, random things, super beautiful stuff. And the goal plan for sure is to definitely sell at least once a month, because I got commitment issues. Who don't have commitment? I got commitment issues. I really do. They got to be so concrete, so push, so firm that I'm like, okay, it's because, sometimes I got FOMO. I fear of missing out. I love hanging out with my family, friends, and if they call me and, oh yeah, let's go. Even though I probably should be just taking a pause and being okay, because I'm okay when they cancel on me, or if they have, other plans that are going on, or, things are in, they need space because they're trying to figure out their lives. Like, that's just, it is what it is. But that's one of the things I'm working on. But so now a little story about my life, of what happened this year to me that helped me. It did help me put myself back in line into like what I need to do, set boundaries for myself, and how I'm going to create this, this hobby business that I love. Because I love sharing that with y'all. All right. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.